You're in custody, your phone calls can and will be recorded. Obviously, you and I, out as free people, we have rights that prevent that from happening. You need a warrant, you need a wiretap or something like that. You don't need that when you're in prison.
Sean Combs and 50 Cent. These two have been trading jabs since the 90s, but now the tension is boiling over into uncharted territory. Rumors are swirling that 50 has decoded Diddy's cryptic jailhouse antics, those odd pizza box references and bizarre plastic ramblings. And the revelations are explosive. If even half of what 50 is hinting at comes to light, Diddy's empire could come crashing down faster than anyone imagined. Adding fuel to the fire, Diddy's own legal team seems to be imploding. His lawyer has officially thrown in the towel, leaving Diddy's defense in chaos. And the mogul's future. It's looking less like glittering red carpets and more like bleak concrete floors. Allegations are stacking up against him, and they're not small-time claims. Serious accusations of sexual misconduct and witness tampering are painting a damning picture. Prosecutors aren't holding back either. They're accusing Diddy of outright defiance of prison regulations. Reports say he's been caught using other inmates' phone accounts and orchestrating three-way calls to reach witnesses. The gall doesn't stop there. Sources allege he's even contacted victims directly, pushing them to change their stories. Witness tampering in the most blatant form? That's what's being said, and the implications could be catastrophic. Sure, third-party calls might not shock anyone in celebrity circles, but Diddy's relentless attempts to manipulate the narrative are raising eyebrows and tightening nooses. Instead of finding a way out, these moves might be cementing his place behind bars for the long haul. The streets are ablaze with gossip, the stakes couldn't be higher, and the drama? It's nothing short of electric. While the world stays hushed, we're bringing you every detail of this jaw-dropping saga. Diddy's attempts to outmaneuver the system have spectacularly backfired, leaving his case in shambles. Instead of clearing his name, those allegedly shady phone calls have handed prosecutors a treasure trove of incriminating evidence. And just when it couldn't get worse, a bombshell. One of these calls has leaked online. The fallout has been instant, sparking an inferno of speculation across social media that shows no signs of dying down. The internet is in overdrive, and news outlets are pouncing on the story like it's blood in the water. Diddy's audacious tactics have not only set headlines ablaze, but have handed prosecutors the very ammunition they needed. Now armed with allegations of obstruction, they're doubling down, adding even more heat to the already towering inferno of claims against him. This is a textbook case of self-sabotage. It's as though Diddy's digging his own grave, crafting the shovel himself and throwing dirt with wild abandon. What started as a desperate attempt to control the narrative has spiraled into a chaotic media circus, leaving his legal team scrambling to contain the damage. His once polished reputation? It's now hanging by a thread. But the drama keeps escalating. Reports claim that a notebook seized from Diddy's jail cell contains damning information tied to obstruction of justice. His defense team is desperately arguing that the contents are protected under attorney-client privilege. But the courts aren't convinced, at least not yet. With tension soaring and twists unfolding at every turn, this scandal is only getting hotter. Stay tuned, because this firestorm is far from burning out. Diddy's latest moves are so shocking, they seem ripped from the plot of a scandalous drama, but they're all unfolding in real life. Even from behind bars, under strict restrictions, he's reportedly pulling strings in ways that defy belief. And here's the jaw-dropper. He's allegedly dragging his own kids into this legal nightmare. These aren't your typical, "Hey, how are you, son?" kind of calls either. Reports claim Diddy is running a behind-bars cleanup operation, instructing his sons to handle evidence and help tidy up his mess. The real kicker? One of those calls has leaked online, sending the internet into a frenzy. The audio has everyone raising serious questions. If his sons follow through with even a shred of what's being suggested, they could face obstruction charges themselves. The stakes are sky high, and Diddy's gamble could come at the ultimate cost: his children's futures. It's reckless, it's selfish, and it's utterly mind-blowing. Just when you think this saga couldn't get messier, Diddy finds a way to top himself. But that's not all. Things take an even darker turn. To shield himself, his team has been spinning an emotional sob story, feeding the media lines designed to tug at heartstrings. To them, he's not Diddy, he's Dad, they say, painting a picture of a broken man overwhelmed by separation from his kids. Tearjerkers like, he's very concerned about his children's well-being, are being fed to the press in droves. Concerned about his kids? The leaked audio paints a starkly different picture. Diddy's focus appears laser-sharp, but not on protecting his children, on saving his own skin. This transparent damage control campaign is doing little more than adding fuel to the already raging fire. Every desperate move is under the spotlight, and the controversy surrounding his actions just keeps growing. That doesn't exactly scream devoted dad, does it? Instead, it seems like Diddy is laser-focused on his own survival, no matter the cost, even if it means risking his son's futures. By allegedly pulling them into his legal chaos, he's gambling with stakes that could ruin their lives, all for a desperate shot at securing his freedom. The risk isn't just reckless, it's devastating. Meanwhile, behind bars, the system isn't bending over backward for him. He's being treated like any other detainee awaiting trial, and reality is hitting hard. Insiders reveal that Diddy's initial placement on self-harm watch wasn't some special punishment or drama-worthy twist. It was simply precautionary, standard protocol for a high-profile figure like him. No luxurious accommodations, no golden parachutes, just the cold, unvarnished truth of his situation. He's created a mess so big even his fame can't shield him from the fallout. The bottom line? Diddy might think he's playing a clever game, but dragging his kids into this disaster isn't just heartless, it's cruel. And judging by the way this saga is unraveling, it looks like his plan is destined to backfire in epic fashion. The world is watching, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Meanwhile, 50 Cent is sitting pretty, proving that patience and persistence can pay off. For years, he's been the lone voice calling out Sean Diddy Combs, planting seeds of doubt and waiting for the truth to surface. And now, as Diddy faces the most damning allegations of his career, 50 isn't just a rapper anymore. He's the man who saw it coming and warned the world. The tables have turned, and 50's moment in the spotlight has never been brighter. Let's face it, 50 Cent isn't just talking. He's executing a masterclass in strategy and timing. He's been biding his time, watching the cracks form in Diddy's empire, and now he's capitalizing on the chaos, delivering what might just be the knockout punch to Diddy's career. The precision? Impeccable. The impact? Devastating. In a recent conversation, 50 didn't hold back. "It seems like I'm doing some extremely outrageous things, but I haven't," he said. And he's absolutely right. He hasn't had to. All he's done is speak his truth, openly calling out Diddy's questionable behavior long before it hit the mainstream. Now that the headlines are catching up, it's glaringly obvious. 50 was onto something all along. He elaborated further. "It's really me just saying what I've been saying for 10 years. Now it's becoming more full-facing in the news with the puffy stuff. But away from that, I'm like, yo, it's just my perspective because I've stayed away from that stuff the entire time."
I'ma need you to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes. The what? All the boxes left over from the pizza. All the boxes.
My entrepreneurs, all my hustlers, do not think that you're the only one that's having a hard time, okay? I'm having a hard time at my level.
These aren't just words. They're the culmination of years of watching, waiting, and trusting his instincts. This isn't about petty rivalry anymore. It's about foresight, persistence, and a man watching the truth unfold at its own pace. 50 Cent has mastered the long game, and it's paying off spectacularly. His restraint, his timing, it's all coming together as the spotlight shifts toward Diddy's darker dealings. 50's distance from the flashy, controversial lifestyle that Diddy seemed to revel in has proven to be his ace in the hole. While Diddy's name is now linked to allegations of excess, controversy, and potentially illegal activities, 50's choice to stay away from it all only strengthens his position. The headlines are buzzing louder than ever, and 50 Cent is proving that sometimes patience is the most powerful weapon of all. "This is not my style," 50 Cent declared, and it shows. While Diddy battles mounting allegations and prepares for trial, 50 is thriving, gearing up for his much-anticipated Induct Club Las Vegas residency. Cool, calm, and entirely unbothered, 50 is riding high while Diddy's world crumbles. Their rivalry runs deep, stretching all the way back to 2006, when 50 dropped the scathing diss track, The Bomb, accusing Diddy of involvement in the murder of Notorious Big. Since then, they've clashed over everything from vodka brands to public feuds. But this goes beyond music or business. This is about legacy. And 50 is making sure Diddy's alleged actions don't quietly slip into obscurity. The contrast couldn't be starker. While Diddy's team scrambles to patch up the wreckage, 50's career is soaring to new heights. It's almost poetic. Fate seems to be handing 50 the ultimate victory lap. And with his signature mix of sharp wit and humor, you know he's savoring every moment. Diddy's once glittering empire, built on fame and fortune, is crumbling under the weight of over 20 lawsuits and devastating allegations. Claims of sexual assault and exploitative practices are stacking up, painting a damning picture of predatory behavior that's impossible to ignore. Each new case adds another nail in the coffin, making it clear that this isn't just a one-off scandal, it's a pattern. Meanwhile, 50 Cent is proving that truth and patience have a way of rising to the top. As Diddy's legal team struggles to keep up with the avalanche of claims, 50's long-standing warnings about Diddy's actions are echoing louder than ever. He's thriving, his career at its peak, while the legacy of one of hip-hop's most powerful moguls teeters on the edge of collapse. The glittering empire Diddy once commanded is fading, leaving behind a legacy that's quickly being eclipsed by scandal and controversy. Legal experts are weighing in, and the consensus isn't looking good for him. The allegations, spanning decades, aren't just a string of isolated incidents. Instead, they paint a chilling picture of systemic abuse, with Diddy allegedly using his wealth, power, and influence to prey on the vulnerable. This growing pattern is proving to be a monumental challenge for his defense. The consistency of the accusations is turning the tide against him, making it increasingly difficult for his legal team to dismiss the claims. Despite their repeated denials, Diddy's attorneys are sounding less convincing as evidence continues to surface. It's a grim trajectory that mirrors the downfalls of other high-profile figures like R. Kelly, Jeffrey Epstein, and Bill Cosby. Once the floodgates of victim testimony open, the accused rarely recover their reputations, let alone escape legal consequences. The allegations against Diddy extend far beyond criminal charges. Disturbing reports detail freak-offs, where he allegedly coerced women into compliance and maintained a troubling obsession with filming these encounters. The parallels being drawn between Diddy and some of history's most notorious predators are striking and damning. Attorney Tony Busby's bombshell revelation that he represents over 120 individuals, both men and women, claiming violent sexual assault at the hands of Diddy has only added more fuel to the already raging fire. The staggering number underscores the sheer scale of these alleged actions and the devastating implications for his legacy. What was once a tale of fame and fortune is now transforming into one of infamy and disgrace, with consequences that could resonate far beyond the courtroom. Federal authorities have reportedly secured a trove of compromising videos from Diddy's mansion, evidence that could unveil even more shocking misconduct. Adding to the storm, Courtney Burgess, a close confidant of Diddy's late ex-wife, Kim Porter, has handed over 8 additional tapes to the FBI. Burgess has already been called to testify before a grand jury, signaling that this investigation is far from over. These explosive developments have placed Hollywood's elites under a magnifying glass, fueling speculation about who might be implicated next. Allegations suggest that a web of celebrities, politicians, athletes, CEOs, and producers connected to Diddy's alleged actions could soon face exposure. The potential for arrests looms large, threatening to send seismic shockwaves through the entertainment industry. The fallout could ignite a reckoning for Hollywood, shining a harsh spotlight on a long-standing culture of misconduct. For decades, this issue has simmered beneath the surface, with even iconic figures like Tom Hanks publicly acknowledging the pervasiveness of individuals like Jeffrey Epstein and Harvey Weinstein. The parallels are hard to ignore, and the conversation is gaining traction. What's coming to light is a culture of fear and silence that permeates Hollywood. a system designed to protect power at all costs. Women often stay silent, terrified of being blacklisted, while men either share that fear or dismiss the problem as the status quo. Some argue that this is simply how the industry functions, a twisted system where power dynamics are seen as the foundation of success. As more evidence emerges and testimonies pile up, the spotlight is turning brighter and harsher. The question now isn't just about Diddy. It's about whether Hollywood's culture of complicity will finally face the reckoning it's evaded for so long. Complicity is a silent yet powerful force. Those who are aware of these troubling practices but choose to ignore or justify them are just as responsible for upholding this broken system. Turning a blind eye doesn't absolve anyone. It only perpetuates the cycle of harm. With over 36 civil lawsuits now in motion, and attorney Tony Busby detailing the extent of the alleged abuse tied to Diddy and his co-conspirators, it seems the wheels of justice may finally be turning. But the accusations are harrowing, especially the ones involving minors, some reportedly as young as 7 years old. These allegations are deeply unsettling. Like Demi Moore in her youth, these children were allegedly provided to Diddy by their own parents. The level of betrayal is staggering. Guardians entrusted with protecting their children seemingly turned a blind eye, blinded instead by greed and the lure of opportunity, no matter the cost. Speaking with Piers Morgan on Uncensored, Tony Busby highlighted the gravity of the accusations. He acknowledged their painful nature, emphasizing that, whether true or false, they demand careful attention. If the accusations are true, he said, those involved should not have been in the room or participating in such acts. His words cut to the heart of the matter. Justice isn't just about punishment. It's about accountability for everyone who enabled these horrors. Busby also revealed that while lawsuits are imminent, the first wave of named individuals may not be the most high-profile figures on the list. But the scope of this investigation is far-reaching, with a lengthy roster of individuals under scrutiny. He underscored the importance of meticulous due diligence before filing, as public lawsuits in the US are accessible to all, and naming someone in a suit inevitably draws media attention. The investigation promises to peel back layers of complicity, greed, and abuse that have festered in the shadows for far too long. Will this be the reckoning Hollywood has avoided for decades? Only time will tell. Addressing the public, Tony Busby laid bare the chilling details of allegations involving Diddy. He described a harrowing incident in which an individual was reportedly picked up by a black SUV, given a drink, and later woke up with no memory of what had occurred. This person experienced severe physical pain and injuries, was missing personal belongings, including their shoes and underwear, and ultimately required medical attention at a hospital. Busby also referenced another unsettling case involving an adult who allegedly attended a group dinner with Diddy and others. While details remain vague, his remarks hinted at deeply troubling circumstances surrounding the evening. The allegations paint a picture of systemic exploitation that extends far beyond Diddy himself. Among those implicated are individuals like Demi Moore and Usher, who are accused of enabling Diddy's alleged actions. Claims suggest that their involvement, by allegedly allowing minors to be placed in harmful situations, made them complicit in the abuse. According to these allegations, they share responsibility for perpetuating a culture where Diddy could operate unchecked. The silence surrounding Diddy's influence over minors wasn't maintained in isolation. Allegedly, people like Moore and Usher are accused of using their own power and status to help facilitate and conceal these actions, further entrenching Hollywood's culture of misconduct. Such claims, if true, could redefine their legacies and spark a reckoning for their roles in the abuse. The legal fallout appears to be imminent. Reports suggest that arrest warrants are being prepared for everyone allegedly connected to Diddy's actions. Hollywood insiders are said to be bracing for the impact, with some high-profile figures already taking steps to protect themselves. Ellen DeGeneres, for instance, has reportedly moved abroad, while others, like Ashton Kutcher, are preparing to testify. The prospect of looming lawsuits, incriminating tapes, and damning testimonies has left many in the industry deeply concerned about what's to come. The revelations mark the beginning of what could be one of the most significant reckonings in Hollywood history, with shockwaves likely to ripple through the industry for years. This case has the potential to unravel a long-hidden network of power, privilege, and abuse that has festered in Hollywood for decades. It could shine a harsh light on the troubling practices that have quietly persisted within the industry's inner circles. During a live segment on TMZ, it was reported that the U.S. Attorney's Office is actively investigating those who may be connected to the case. Authorities stated that anyone linked to the allegations can expect a call, potentially to provide information or even serve as witnesses in the case. The statement highlighted that this investigation is still in its early stages, with the full extent of its impact yet to be determined. The scope of those who could be implicated and affected is vast, and the ripple effects may leave no corner of the industry untouched. The revelations are expected to send shockwaves far and wide, sparking a reckoning long overdue. Given the severity of the allegations against Diddy, legal experts speculate that the federal trial may not be televised. However, the civil cases proceeding alongside it are likely to bring many details to light, exposing those involved to public scrutiny. For the accused, settling out of court may be their only chance to avoid further repercussions. But with over 200 verified victims reportedly stepping forward, it's increasingly likely that some of Hollywood's biggest names could see their reputations irreparably damaged. The implications go beyond just Diddy. This investigation threatens to dismantle the systems of silence and complicity that have protected power players in the industry for years. As this unprecedented case unfolds, the stakes couldn't be higher. Careers, legacies, and entire networks are on the line, and the fallout promises to reshape the landscape of Hollywood in ways no one could have anticipated.